This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. I'm Alex Brown. The 2024 Stand Up Rural America Summit begins today at French Lick Resort with some 200 officials from economic development organizations, chambers of commerce, and industry attending to share best practices and discuss key challenges facing rural areas throughout the country.
Our communities are aging. Our infrastructure is aging. Our populations are aging. Our housing is aging. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things that are pretty critical for sustainability and for growth. We're going to talk about downtown revitalization, community development, innovative housing.
Lori Vincent with the summit says due to this year's location, the event will also have a greater emphasis on rural tourism. Construction got underway yesterday on a massive mixed-use development on the north side of Fort Wayne that will feature 240,000 square feet of residential and commercial space. The $180 million Villages of Arneo project will include 240 apartments and 60 townhomes. Trilogy Health Services, one of the Midwest's largest senior living companies, is growing in Indiana again. The Louisville-based company said this month it plans to expand the number of senior residences at its campuses in Noblesville, Mooresville, and Greenfield by adding a total of 80 independent patio homes and assisted living units. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, 1 goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
A group that touts itself as devoted to the fair treatment of all persons without regard to race or ethnicity has filed a civil rights complaint against Indiana University over what it describes as the university's offering of discriminatory scholarships. IIB's Marek Mazurek has details.
The Equal Protection Project filed the complaint July 15th with the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights in Chicago. The complaint lists at least 19 race-based scholarships at the Kelley School of Business, the IU Indianapolis campus, and the McKinney School of Law, saying that for some of them, terms such as, quote, minorities or variations of that term are used. The group says, quote, it is clear from the context of the scholarships and the usage of such terms by Indiana University that these terms reflect a racial and or ethnic descriptor that excludes whites, end quote. The complaint further alleges that since IU is a public institution, its creation, sponsorship, and promotion of discriminatory scholarships also violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. EPP founder William Jacobson said the group has no specific plans for further litigation against IU regarding these scholarships, but if additional discriminatory scholarships or programs came to its attention, the group would consider additional actions. Jacobson said as far as other universities, EPP expects to continue to file complaints if it sees alleged discriminatory scholarships and programs come to the group's attention. A spokesperson for IU told our partners at the Indiana Lawyer the university does not comment on individual complaints. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
An urban planning initiative led by the University of Notre Dame School of Architecture has helped a Michigan city land a $25 million federal grant to redesign a key thoroughfare. The school's Housing and Community Regeneration Initiative held a week-long urban planning session in August 2022 that sought public opinion on how to revitalize downtown Kalamazoo. The $25 million grant will help fund the rebuilding of Kalamazoo's Main Street, Michigan Avenue, from a 6-lane one-way roadway into a 2-way route better suited to calming traffic and encouraging pedestrian use. The grant brings the total amount of funding the city has received as a result of the initiative's work to $98 million. Dean and Barbara White Family Foundation Executive Director Bill Hanna is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.